This video is brought to you by Honey. When doing research for this video and checking Reddit for iceberg charts, I came across this one about Uncle Scotty, the state senator of Pennsylvania for 5 years before he was ousted. It's pretty interesting. And as you know, with iceberg charts, we always start at the top and work our way down into the deeper knowledge. And that's what we're going to be doing in this part 1 video, where we focus on levels 1 and 2. This is the Uncle Scotty iceberg. Thank you again for our sponsor Honey for sponsoring this video. If you want a cheap and easy way, which is also kind of sketchy, of saving money, you can easily do that by downloading the Honey browser tool. Just go to Google Play or whatever device you use and download it. You can save big money on small things that you wouldn't need to save money on. It is the sketchiest and the best way to save money, and they definitely don't sell your information. So let's get back into the video. Texas. Originally stationed in Waco, Texas for military operations, he was then moved to Waco, Texas, and this is right near the Bermuda Triangle, where he kept doing his work as a military officer. Gravel driveway. As you can see from aerial footage and photos taken from the street, Uncle Scotty does have a gravel driveway, which appears to be very long and probably very tedious in the wintertime. So yeah, pool. Outside of Uncle Scotty's house, there appears to be an above ground pool with a heating unit. Nothing special here, just basic stuff. Actually, after doing a little more research, I did find this old video from a PGA tour he was going on at the time, and that is an above ground pool, and that is a heating unit. Braddock's Trail. Nothing crazy, this is just a trail down the street from his house. I think it's like a public land kind of thing. Subaru problems. If you didn't know, Uncle Scotty does drive a 2017 Subaru, and he's been experiencing problems with the underside, like the crankcase and all that. He's trying to figure it out, but yeah, just again, basic stuff, but still. Hyla on Slee. Underneath Uncle Scotty's house, there is what appears to be a government facility, or at least that's what people are saying online. It goes by Hyla on Slee, and no one really knows what they do or what it is, but we'll come back to it in the future layers of this iceberg. CIA ties. In 2017, an article was released by Newsweek about a man named Uncle Scotty, that is who I'm talking about here, and the facility underneath his house. Now, a lot of speculation has gone around between the Hyla project and the CIA, him working together with the two, especially with the facility that's allegedly underneath his house. Now, again, like I said, we will be talking more about this in the future layers to come, but it is something to keep in the back of your head. Dubai trips. Inside of the Newsweek article, it did mention various Dubai trips being taken place, flight plans and whatnot, especially from the Trump International Golf Course to the Dubai First Park District. Again, this is all speculation, but a lot of people assume it has to do with business dealings and just all that stuff. Backyard pool. I think this is a typo because we already covered one pool, unless there's another backyard pool that I don't know about, but I think this is what he's talking about and it's just a typo. Love, life, and relationships. It has been said that Uncle Scotty does like to touch base with people he has kind of fallen out of contact with, especially when it comes to all the basic necessities like love, life, and relationships. He's a very charismatic person from what people have been told. This is layer 2. N64. I'm going to be kind of referencing the Newsweek article a lot, but in this footage you could see him playing the N64. I'm pretty sure this is Ocarina of Time. Again, it's just something stupid, but people pointed it out. Ping pong table. In some footage online, you could see him playing ping pong at this table in a basement. People have speculated that this is the facility that he allegedly has under his house, but we're not really sure. And after looking for an hour, I couldn't find the footage, but I did find this one photo of him taken from whenever he was playing ping pong. I assume that's what this is from. Fish pond. Outside of Uncle Scotty's house, as you go up the driveway, there's a small fish pond to the right. Again, nothing crazy, just something to point out. Cheese-filled sausages. From multiple interviews and conversations had with Uncle Scotty, there have been multiple times where he brings up cheese-filled sausages, and no one really knows what it means or if it's a code word for something else. State senator. Before getting his law degree and going to law school, he became a state senator for 5 years before being ousted. And the weird thing about this is, if you look at the history of Pennsylvania state senators, he is listed nowhere. He's redacted from everything. Even the Wikipedia article I was looking at removed his name. People have suggested that it has something to do with his ties to the CIA and this project going on, but no one really knows. Zed. If you were lucky enough to catch one of Uncle Scotty's tweets on Twitter before he deleted his profile, he always raved about Zed and the song Clarity. It's a great song if you've listened to it, so you understand where he's coming from. The Bookseller. In Nashua, New Hampshire, there was a bookstore called The Bookseller, I guess a play on words. But here's where things get weird and what people have noticed about this place. If you look at the city gas lines to see, if you want to put a gas line somewhere, it marks a bunch of locations underneath the ground that you normally wouldn't put gas lines. They're marked as rooms specifically, which is kind of weird and also leads to the theory that he wasn't just visiting there for books. Plane runway. If you go on the TSA's website and look for plane runways within Pennsylvania, there's one specific one in Uncle Scotty's backyard. And this is, again, where things get weird because I didn't see a runway and Google Maps doesn't show anything. So other people have said online that it might be underground. I don't even know how that's possible, but that'd be pretty cool if it was. Front porch. In a video shared by Newsweek on their article about Uncle Scotty, there's one video that is just kind of weird because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. See, when he first built his house, it was built on site and he didn't have a front porch for a few months. Now, why Newsweek would even report on this, I have no idea, but it's kind of just something cool to point out. Unused treehouse. Another cool detail into Uncle Scotty's life, there is a treehouse located within this little forest section. He posted about it on Twitter before deleting his account, so again, something cool. Ezekiel's wheel. In our final entry for this Iceberg video, at least for part 1, we're going to be covering this topic that's kind of hard to understand. It's focused on the cherubim angels, the ones that have wheels covered with eyes. And how this applies to Uncle Scotty is a little different. Tracing CIA documents dated back to the 2008 and 2009 era have brought up Uncle Scotty multiple times, and I don't really think a whole lot of people know about this, but there was a project going on called Ezekiel's Wheel, focused in western Pennsylvania, especially around the Westmoreland and Allegheny County bureaus. It focused heavily on surveillance and kind of just watching people in the area to see what they do. Now, of course, like any other CIA document, it's shrouded in mystery and no one really gets a full picture of it, but I think if I had to guess after looking at this for quite some time, the area underneath Uncle Scotty's land, or at least what allegedly is there, has something to do with this project. And I could talk about it for an hour or two, and maybe I'll make a specific video on it, but I have pretty solid evidence. As we live in the age of data centers taking over multiple land spaces, it's no wonder that you would want to have a surveillance operation underground where no one can see it. Now, if that's where all this is going, all the footage taken from security cameras, I think you can make a pretty solid argument as to why this would be underground, especially with the Hyla project. And the only way to truly view it, or I guess in quotes, view it, is from gas lines and oil companies. While researching the Uncle Scotty iceberg, I was very surprised to see the amount of secrecy being taken place by one state senator. And if it wasn't for this iceberg, I would have no idea that any of this was going on, but it's pretty cool to see, and I'm very glad that I got to research it in the way that I did. This was levels 1 and 2, and in the next one we'll be covering 3 and 4, so stick around. And thank you again for Honey for sponsoring this video. If you want some shady deals on a shady website, you know where to go.